So lastly, I'd like to talk about histogram. As I mentioned, histogram is very important. For example, if I have a set of data like this, I have a lot of different numbers. And if we just have all these numbers presented to someone, no one can really understand this data set. So we really need to visualize the distribution like this, okay? We need to know that, okay, for most of the numbers, they are around 3,000 to 6,000, and I have some rare possibilities for small numbers, large numbers, etc. So this kind of figure or histogram, by definition, is very useful. We know that this data set seems to be symmetric and many other things that we're going to use. Okay, so how to get one like this? So first, we all know that if we want to create a histogram, actually, we need to first have this thing. What's this? This is the frequency table, or sometimes people also call it a frequency distribution. So this is actually saying that between 0 and 1000, we have 18 numbers. Among all these numbers we have in this particular data set, we have 18 numbers that are between 0 and 1000. Here it means between 1000 and 2000, we have 80 numbers, something like that. So let me do it from scratch to get all these numbers, okay? Here in column A, I have in total 731 numbers. What I need to do now is that I need to categorize them into all these different classes. I want to know how many numbers are within 0 and 1000, how many numbers are within 1000 and 2000, etc. So there are many different ways to do that. I'm going to present one that I believe may be the easiest, or at least very easy. So first, we know how to do rounding. We know how to round up, round down, ceiling, floor, whatever. So now I'm going to do the rounding from column A to column B. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to round each number in column A into what? Into the closest multiple of 100, that is below it. So how should I do that? Round down, right? I can use this function. I want to round down A1 to what? To the closest multiple to 1000 of 100. So in that case, I should type -3 here. Why? I explained that in previous videos. So you already know that -3 means to the third digit to the left of the decimal number. So that's how I get 0 here. And that's how for 1300 something, I get 1000. So that's why if I have a number which is 2077, I get 2000. So of course you may also try different ways like the ceiling math function or whatever, but they are just equivalent. Okay, so by doing this, I get column B, and the column B is useful in a sense that now if I want to know how many numbers in column A are within 0 and 1000, all I need to do is just to count how many numbers in column B are actually 0. Okay? All I need to do is to count how many numbers in B are 0. Then I have the number of numbers in column A that are within 0 and 1000, and all others are the same. So now, how do I do the counting? Well, you may filter, you may sort, and then count with your hands, but we don't need to do that because there are so many numbers. There must be some better way. So now I'm going to introduce you a function called COUNTIF. COUNTIF is that you give this function several numbers as your first argument. And then in your second argument, you tell the function what's the number that you are looking at, or in general, what's the value that you are looking at. So here we can see that what we are talking about is that we have all these numbers, and I'm talking about the number of zeros. Okay, so my second argument is just 0. Then this COUNTIF function is going to search through these 731 numbers to count the number of occurrences of 0. Well, 18. And then all I need to do is to fix this range, fix this set of data in my first argument, and then I can copy all the functions. Okay, I don't need the remaining parts. But for the first part, well, this is exactly the frequency table or frequency distribution I need. For this 80, that's the number of 1000s, in column B, which means the number of the occurrence of numbers that is within 1000 and 2000 in column A. So now the only thing that it remains is to create a bar chart based on the frequencies I just obtained. Okay, so I create a bar chart here. So I'm almost done. The only thing that remains is that I need to somehow make sure that for my bar chart here, there should be no hole, there should be no gap between bars. Okay, because by default, Excel is drawing bar charts. I need to find a way to close those gaps, to eliminate those gaps, so that it looks like a histogram. So how should I do that? I right click on those bars, any of the bars, and then I format data series. Okay, and then I can see there are several options. For example, here, gap width. Okay, this must be the one. I'm going to eliminate this, and then there is no gap. Okay, so this is pretty much a histogram we need. We may do some further declaration like, okay, I'm going to change the border color. So border color, I'm going to choose solid line and choose, for example, blue or whatever, black and whatever you like. Well, we're almost done. This looks pretty good, right? And then lastly, we need to somehow decorate our horizontal axis. So this should not be 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. They should be 0, 1000, 2000, and so on. So I'm going to right click on this and select data. So when I select data here again, horizontal axis labels, so I'm going to edit this one and then select these parts. Okay, so now we're almost done. So this is not perfect because it should actually be 0 to 1000, 1000 to 2000, etc. But in Excel, this is pretty much the best we can do. So if we have some free time, actually what we should do is to change this a little bit like this. So what I should do is that I'm going to say, okay, I have a class. For each class, I should make this 0 to 1000, 1000 to 2000, or 2000 to 3000, and so on and so on and so on. So if I complete that, then I'm going to do this select data again. I'm going to change the horizontal labels to this one. Okay, then we can see that if I complete all these numbers here, I'm going to get all those class labels, which will make my histogram even better. But as I mentioned, these are some advanced things that you may not need to do. So if your histogram look like this, well, I think it's okay if you are just using Excel. So in Excel, there are many other different ways to generate histograms. Just as one example, if your Excel is with the addition version that is new enough, then here you may see there is something called Insert Statistic Charts. Here you can select histograms directly. So let's try it. Column A, here. I select all the numbers and then I say I want a histogram. Well, then you get a histogram directly, and all those class width, class midpoints are automatically selected by Excel. You of course have some options. You may do something on it and say you want to select the for example bin width. Okay. Then if you change the bin width, you're going to get a different histogram, of course. And here, what happened? Wait a moment. No, let me do it again. Okay, I need to edit this one. So here, when you say you have bins, then you can change them. You can do them automatically. You can change bin width. You can choose the number of bins, and then you're going to change the way that your histogram look like. And of course, this may be a fast way, but then you cannot control everything you want. If you are using the way like doing all those rounding things and doing the count if things by yourself, you actually can create a histogram with where your class widths are 900, 950, 1200, and so on. You can do whatever you like to control your histogram. Well, anyway, as long as you know one way to do histogram, that's good enough. Thank you.